Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Karen's Beach Reads, and I'm Karen, and I'm coming to you from Port St. Lucie, Florida. It's been a little rainy lately, so I haven't been able to get to the beach. For the past couple Sundays, probably 2 Sundays ago, I tried to go to the beach and get some reading done, and it started pouring on me, so I had to go back to my apartment and read in my apartment, which is no fun. So this week we're going to be talking about Krysten Ritter's new mystery thriller called Bonfire. Krysten Ritter is an actress. She is Jessica Jones on the Marvel Netflix series Jessica Jones, and I think she was in Breaking Bad before, which I've never seen. I had picked up her book and I read it this past weekend, and it's a pretty quick read. Of course, that's what I say about every book I read, is that it's quick. There was some football on my TV this past weekend through no fault of my own, so I managed to get through Bonfire probably a little longer than the game took. This book is going to take probably 4 quarters of football plus a little extra to get through. It's about maybe 3.5 hours. The book is about a lawyer named Abby, and she's kind of like an environmental advocacy lawyer, and she goes back to her hometown Barron and is kind of poking around there because there's a company called Optimal, and they have been kind of very active in building new things in the community, kind of almost bribing the citizens to kind of look the other way when it comes to some shady corporate dealings. So there's a bunch of shady stuff going on with Optimal and with this town of Barron, and Abby, who has lived there before, goes back to kind of try and figure out what's going on. The book is really suspenseful. Not only does it kind of involve Abby snooping around where she shouldn't belong, but it kind of also involves her feelings about her hometown. She did not have a good time growing up. Some of her interactions with her former classmates are very tense. So it's a very interesting atmosphere that's set up between Abby and this corporation, and Abby and her former classmates. So I don't read a whole lot of mysteries, but I really liked that this particular mystery slash thriller went above and beyond what an average mystery would do. I really liked how there was kind of an element of environmentalism in it, kind of corporate interests versus human interests. Later on, there was kind of a theme of the way teenage girls grow up and treat each other, and how that gets passed down from parent to child. And when you kind of live in a small town and everyone kind of lives there, and you raise kids there and then they live there, there are kind of these values and ideas that get passed from parent to child and from child to sibling that is kind of portrayed in the book. One of the issues that I had with this book was the writing style. It could just be because it's a debut novel, and authors kind of need a few books to kind of hit their stride. Not every book that you read is going to come out perfect every time, and I think there were a couple cliches that were built into the narrative in this story. That cliche of you let out a breath that you didn't know you were holding popped up a couple times. There were things that clued me into the idea that this author, this is her first novel, and probably with the next novel she will have honed her craft and hit her stride. Overall, I really enjoyed this book. It was suspenseful, and I thought that Krysten Ritter did a really good job kind of striking that balance between the corporate interest and human interest themes, and the way that Abby was portrayed. I kind of saw a little bit of Jessica Jones in Abby, in that like kind of relentless investigative person, but at the same time the way her investigation kind of broke her down into this struggling alcoholic. I caught kind of like themes from that versus Jessica Jones, and kind of that inspiration that might have been there. And I don't know if that's completely true, but as a reader, that's just kind of what I got from the book. I would recommend that you pick it up and read it. It is a very entertaining book, and if you really like mysteries and thrillers and kind of things that step beyond the conventional mystery, I think you'll really enjoy Bonfire. I'm gonna cut this one a little short, because I have an awful lot of holiday romance novels to read, and so this was kind of a fun book to pick up that is not a Christmas-themed romance, but instead something much darker. So next week I'll probably be diving into more of those. If you want to recommend more mysteries to me, you can email me or hit me up on Instagram, Twitter. I will see you next week, and happy reading.